me great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to again introduce to you our mother, Mataji Melody.
Thank you. Covered the points very well. I'm happy that Dr. Warren could explain to you those chakras about which I told you yesterday, because in one short lecture you can't cover all these points. And if you get your realization and you progress well, then you can listen to my tapes, which are in hundreds, and you can understand the knowledge is vast like ocean. As I yesterday told you, that when you get enlightenment, you become the knowledge. It's a very confused statement. People don't understand what does it mean to become the knowledge. The other day, a gentleman came to me and he told me that my guru has already given me the knowledge. I said, how? Because he told me I have given you the knowledge. I said, but still, how is it? It is knowledge. How do you believe that he has given you the knowledge? So he said, no, mother. He touched me on my forehead and I saw a light. I said, then still, you can see the light otherwise also. How is it you have got the knowledge? So he started thinking about it. He said that, what should happen if I get the knowledge? I said, see, this is another person sitting next to you. He's a Sahaja yogi. He knows what Kundalini is. Also, he knows how to raise your Kundalini. He knows what is your problem, what your chakras are catching. He also knows what are his problems. So he asked me, how does he know? I said, he has become the knowledge. As yesterday I told you that on your central nervous system, you should be able to feel others and yourself, which is inside. Now, for example, a person who is mad. When he started becoming mad, he did not realize. He did not realize he's already possessed and that he's getting mad and that he should have treatment. Nothing he realized. Gradually he became mad and he is in the lunatic asylum. Or a person who gets cancer does not know he's developed a cancer till they say that now it's hardly 15 days, you have to die. This is on physical level, mental level. A person who is egoistical does not know that he is egoistical, that he is oppressing others and others are a part or parcel of himself. Like Hitler never realized that he was such a horrible devil, that he will go to hell. And those who were around Hitler that time did not realize that a devil is growing in this society, that a devil is going to come. Nobody realized everything, and suddenly after 11 years he comes back as a horrible, destructive, satanic force. So, if you read the books written before his regime, they were actually supporting him. Because they said that we are getting decadent, our society is decadent, and we need a person who will take us to austerities and who will make us little disciplined. We need discipline, we must have discipline. And so they liked him. Even the young students liked him. When he went to the universities, he charmed them by saying we must have discipline, we should be austere, we should not eat this food, we should not eat that food, we should become very austere. And that thing was very much appreciated by the young people. They did not realize whether this man was a devil or not. Now, knowledge is such that in that you see the subtle of yourself and subtle of others. And the subtle of ours and the subtle of others resides in the chakras. These are the chakras which reside within us. And these chakras are the ones who cater to the need of any emergencies we have. For example, if you have to run very fast, we can run very fast. Our heart starts beating. The sympathetic goes into action. Then these chakras bring it back to normal by supplying proper energy to that part which has been overused. They bring it back to normal. When, say, on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, we have two extraction of the sympathetic nervous system. When this extraction is too much on the chakras, these chakras get separated. And there is a deity in every chakra. And when that deity sleeps off, there is a separation from the whole. Because that is how we are connected with the whole. This is supposing is the vertebra, is like this. Once it is broken off, you are broken off from the whole. The control is lost. Once the control is lost, then you start working on your own. Once a cell starts working on its own, it becomes malignant. It loses that relationship with the whole which gives it balance, a sense of proportion and coordination, how much to grow, and that's how cancer is setting. In the society also nowadays, because the society is becoming ego-oriented, we go on saying, what's wrong? What's wrong in this? What's wrong in this? As today, just now, Warren was telling you that there is a dharma within us. We have got 10 dharmas, the 10 sustenance within us, the 10 commandments that we have to obey. Why? Because if you go out of them, then you go into an imbalance, and if the imbalance is set in, then you can develop any one of these problems which come out of imbalances. That is how we cannot cure cancer, because we cannot make the cells go back to its normal condition. At the most, what we can do is to remove the cells from the body who start attacking others and making them also ego-oriented. But we cannot make them again normal cells. Only through vibrations you can do it. Because when you vibrate these centers, they become more powerful. They expand their aura. So the circle that was small becomes bigger, engulfs both the sides and bring them together. And again the deities are awakened and the cells start getting the message from the whole. This is a simple principle, which is a subtle principle. But a person who gets a cancer, how will he know he's got a cancer or not? Because there is no way of knowing it. But when you become the knowledge, you start developing the sensation on your fingers. And there are decoding words, decoding language, which tells you which are the centers catching and how to cure it. Immediately you are on the alert because you know it's happening. Now people who have, say, mental problem, they don't know they have mental problem. Some of them, they are not at all aware of it. But then they realize they have a mental problem. A psychiatrist came to see me. Today only he was with me. He's a surgeon and he treated some mentally handicapped person. He's a psychiatrist. So he finds always his finger shakes before me. This finger and this thumb. If this is burning and this is shaking, that means there's a possession working on you. It's a simple thing like that. Now this person can clear it out, because Sahajogi takes hardly 2 minutes to clear it out. But the person who has got it can be also cleared out, because once you know what is the center, and if you know the deities whom to awaken, and if you know how to awaken them, you get it cleared out. That's how mad people can also get cured. Now here there's a madman on the road. Just now when he was speaking, I was in the room. He was saying, you must seek Christ, you must seek God, and all those things on the street. He's himself mad. You see a mad leading others into what? Lunatic asylum? He's talking like that loudly. You must seek Lord, you must seek God. How? How do you seek? Just giving lectures, seek the Lord, seek gods. Is this the way? If I say now, put your attention inside, just now you're sitting before me, a simple thing. Your attention is towards me. Now turn your attention inside. Can you do it? You may say, yes, we are doing it. That's wrong. That you are not doing at all. Something has to happen within. Unless and until something happens, your attention cannot go inside. Many people just believe into something false. Go on believing into it till they suffer from it. I have seen people who have been like that, fanatics. In their old age, they become absolutely either violent people or useless or aggressive or boring. Some of them become really half mad and some of them full mads. So believing into anything without the knowledge about it is a very blind game. Now sustenance has to be there. Now we can say in India we have Sikhism, which is a very great religion. But the people who belong to Sikhism are not supposed to drink at all. After all, Guru Nanak, when he said you are not to drink, because he knew about it, he knew what he was saying about it. He was an incarnation of the primordial being. He was the primordial master. And when he said that you should not drink, now I am told that in England the Sikh people drink more than even the Scotland people. It's more surprising. Imagine. See about Islam, because Muhammad Sahib and Nanak Sahib are the same persons. He said the same thing. Moses said the same thing. Asked the Jews, what are they doing? He said strong drinks, alcohols, all must be avoided. At the time of Muhammad Sahib, there were no cigarettes. So he didn't say about cigarettes. So Muslims say, oh, cigarettes are all right, doesn't matter. You see, these things are there are so many loopholes. In India, we have communities and communities like that where you go and see, you will be amazed. Like Jains, they won't eat meat, but they will drink. Can you imagine? Drinking goes against your awareness is a fact. While Mahavira has talked about nothing but Chaitanya. Buddha never said don't eat meat. That doesn't mean that you should eat meat. But what I'm saying, he never talked on that. That's not so important. He himself, Buddha himself, died because he ate a raw pork. He went to a house. You see, Buddha was a realized soul, a great personality. He was an incarnation. And he went into a house where, as a guest, suddenly he appeared there. And the person was just a hunter. And he said, oh, Buddha, you have come to my house. What should I give you? What should I do? He said, I have very little time. Whatever you have, you give me. He said, I have killed a wild boar, but the food is still to be cooked and it will take some time. He said, all right, give me half meat. And he died of that. Even in Jainism, you'll be surprised that Neminath is the first one who was the cousin of Shri Krishna. In his marriage, there was a big function and lots of birds were brought. I mean, they were Jains, imagine. And the birds and all that, when he saw so many killed, he got a kind of a feeling against it and he said, all right, no more of this. But they have gone to another extreme of vegetarianism. I mean, they can be very cruel themselves, but they don't mind that. They can be vegetarians to such an extent that you can't imagine. So this is the problem with the religion has been, that you go to extreme of things. First thing about religion is not to go to extremes. That's the basis of every religion. For Christianity, Christ has said, keep away the dead. Have nothing to do with the dead. He took out the dead spirits and put them in the pigs and put the pigs in the sea. You all know that story. But every church has got all the dead lying under their feet. You don't know how to walk in the church, they're all lying down there. Luckily I've been living, or unluckily I should say, living next to the church all the time I've been in London. And in the night I see all of them coming out of the graves and I say, oh God. And here the children sit down, pray to God and everything. And what do they get? No wonder Catholicism is bringing such a catastrophe, or this so-called Christianity. I mean, the basics of every religion has been contradicted by the disciples. Because Christ is the one who controls the dead. He is the one who sucks the effects of the dead. And he absolutely banned them. Everywhere you go, any church. Only in India they don't do it. Somehow, I don't know how they have managed it. But here, every church you go, there's dead bodies lying everywhere. Sahajogis now don't go to church because they're frightened. Once a Sahajogi is caught up by a spirit, immediately he knows he gets a headache, he doesn't want to go there. But a person who is not a Sahajogi, he goes to a church, he catches the booth, he does not know. One of my disciples had a mother who was a Catholic lady, very staunch Catholic. And she was MA in mathematics and things like that, a very staunch Catholic. She came to see me and I told her that you should give up all this fanaticism about church going, because in the church there are all these dead bodies placed there. But she wouldn't listen to me. Now, then after old age, about 60 years, they go mad, actually, really. And she started using her B-Day for WC, all sorts of things, problems arose. But she would get up in the morning of Sunday, get ready and go to church and come back very nicely. Every time it was a Sunday, she would get up, she would dress up well, go to church and come back. As if somebody was taking her down there. And somebody was bringing her back. But one day it happened that she got lost. And this lady telephoned to the police and said, what to do now? This lady is lost and my mother is lost. And she got very worried. She telephoned to me. I said, you'll find her. She's all right, but she'll come. After 3 days, she came from somewhere, God knows. Came back. And again, she started the same things, using this for that and that for that, and absolutely like a mad person. But the police said nothing doing. Now you better put her in the old man's place. So she put her in one of these places where the old people live. Now, this Mari, my disciple, she told me it's most amazing. The people who are there are mostly Catholics or Christians. They are all mad like this. The nurses are having a bad time. But all of them get ready on a Sunday and go to a church which is specially made for them. Can you imagine? Just look at this obsession. It's an obsession with us. We must know these are obsessions. We are not free people. We are slave to these things. Now, once you come to this side, the other side of slavery are our habits. They enslave us. They enslave us. I have seen now people, I once had a minister sitting with me, and Russian minister, very powerful man otherwise. And suddenly he got up. He was the host. Suddenly he got up. Oh, I must go. I said, what happened? He said, I'm a sick man. I said, what's the matter with you? You see, I'm a football fan and I can't sit any longer. The football match must have started. Imagine, he was the chief host. And so many people were there, he just couldn't sit. I mean, he could not glue himself to the chair and he wanted to get up and walk. And he just didn't know what to do. I was amazed. He had no poise, no control over himself. I mean, I just thought must be some possession from this football is coming to him, or what is it? But such a grown-up, matured person behaves like this. This is nothing. Other habits that we have are much worse, and they all enslave us. We can't live without them. Anything that is in this world is for us. We are not for anything. If anything can enslave us, we should know that we are the masters of everything. If a chair doesn't make you comfortable or uncomfortable, is not important. What is important is that this doesn't enslave you. Nothing should enslave you. The one who is a king, who is the emperor, is least bothered. If you put that person on the street, he'll sleep well. If you put him anywhere, he'll be happy. That's the person is the real emperor, but not the emperor who cannot live without complete comfort. If he's slave of the comfort, then he's not an emperor. All these things we can learn when our center here, Nabhi Chakra, is awakened. When the light spreads in that area, in the void, the green color you see, then what happens immediately in that light? You don't see anything, but the light works. Enlightenment is such that it goes into action. The light itself acts. Can you imagine? The light itself acts in you. We had a doctor who was very fond of wines, drinks, and I never tell you don't drink. I never say that because I don't want people to run away. No, nothing of the kind. You sit down comfortably, just take your realization. Then we'll see about it. This fellow gave up his drinking next day. But then he had to go to Germany. And he thought, I better try some special type of wine that he had liked. So he tried it. And then he vomited. He couldn't bear it. He said the taste was so bad. I had never tasted such a dirty thing. I never told him. It just happened. He saved money. He could buy things out of the money he saved. He was a free bird. But I don't have to tell you this because we are so addicted and identified that even if you say that this can happen with Sahaja Yoga, many people will refuse. Our identifications have gone so deeper into our being, our hangs up, as we say, that we are not free people at all. We might be free politically, all right. But this is so superficial. The spirit is the only thing that is free within you, which has no hangs up, which has no habits, which does not stick onto anything, is completely detached and emitting joy to us. It is a thing that makes our spirit, our attention so enlightened. Now, enlightened attention, as I said, is not the attention that we understand that there's a light, we see the light, nothing of the kind. But with this enlightened attention, our awareness becomes enlightened. So that we start feeling other people on our hands. Like the other person here sitting yesterday, you must have seen. आप जरा ठीक से बैठिए, सब लोग क्या सोचेंगे? कायदे से बैठिए, अब हिंदुस्तानी आदमी. The other day, one gentleman was here and he told me that your energies are different from mine. Nothing of the kind. If you have negative energies, for the time being you will shake. Definitely you will shake for a while. No doubt if you have too much negative energies. Like once we had a program and some people were there, some Brahmins. And they were very much against me because I am not a Brahmin. They said, we'll not have a mother's program. I didn't know all these stories. They never told me. But they came before me and started shaking like this. So I said, why are you shaking so much? They said, we are Brahmins and we understand you are Shakti, so we are shaking. I said, but why are you shaking? Nobody is shaking here. So they pointed out to other 4 people. They said, see, they are also shaking. So I said, go and find out from where do they come. They went and found out that they came from lunatic asylum. I said, relatively, you should see who are shaking. Are you and these people? Nobody else. So if there are negative forces, do shake a little bit. But we should see again, what's the use? What's the use of getting this energy within us? That is very important because we are utility-oriented people. Everything must have an utility. As it is, what do we have which has utility in this world? Nothing. If we had something which had real utility, we would not hanker after anything else. The hankering is still on, so we should conclude that whatever we have got now is not the ultimate. The utility of the ultimate is that once you get the ultimate, everything becomes relative. Everything becomes relative. That is, what becomes relative is all these changing things. all those things which are perishable, all those things which try to enslave us, all those things, they are attracted outwardly, but inside they are like snakes. And what we become is a detached personality. आपको कोई शिकायत है क्या? Sorry, yeah? शिकायत है, इससे some problem होती है. तो फिर आराम से बैठिए, पर सामने बैठे ना ये लोग उसका गलत समझ लेते हैं. Now, our idea about any understanding about religion is that we go to a limited church and a limited society, limited club, do exactly the same, wear the same sort of dresses, wear the same sort of cap or things, we belong to one religion. There is nothing like that. It's all man-made. You see, it's all artificial. Whatever is man-made is artificial, you know that. They write it down for also for all the clothes that are made by man. They say man-made material. So it's not God-made. It's we have made our own religions and we are fighting for it. The religions are something within yourself, within your being. It has nothing to do with what sort of nonsense we have made out of it. This is the quality of a person. Like carbon has got 4 valencies, you have got these 10 valencies. And if these valencies are missing, then what happens that as in the combination of chemical combinations you have seen, if one valency is missing, it becomes a negative and then it combines with another. So there are negative and positive valencies. So if you have some additional valencies with you, then you jump onto other people. If you have less, then you catch some other people. It's exactly the same as it happens in a chemical compound. Now these valencies within us are to be there to give us a balance, and that's what Warren has told you what it means. When you get your realization, your dharma, your 10 commandments get enlightened, means you get empowered. You become that. You go beyond religion. You don't have to follow anything, you just become. You become so integrated. For example, some people, it doesn't suit to have, say, potatoes. They will just don't like it. Just don't like it. Before realize it's just the other way around. If they are not supposed to eat potatoes, they'll eat potatoes more. After realization, you won't just have it. You won't have it. You are so integrated. The sustenance within us gets so enlightened that our priorities change completely. We start judging everything on vibrations. Now we have a little girl, you have seen Olympia. She eats very little, practically solid food she does not eat. But if I give her anything to eat, she will eat. From nobody else. But if I give her anything, she'll ask for more and eat. It's surprising, she understands vibrations. If you understand vibrations, then it is very easy to retain your valencies intact because you are empowered. Not only that, but you just don't like anything else because you like the vibrations to flow. When the vibrations are flowing, the spirit is emitting through your central nervous system the joy. That is the quality of your spirit. The joy you start feeling. And when you start feeling the joy, then you don't want to give up for anything. Just don't want to give up. You want to enjoy it. So you become the knowledge and the attention which is actually placed in this area and sustained by your liver becomes enlightened. As I told you yesterday, sitting down here, if you want to feel about anyone, you can find out. Like just now I saw one gentleman sitting little awkwardly. I thought he's not sitting properly. I said, sit properly. But then I paid attention to him. I knew he was not well. So I said, have you got any problem? He said, yes. I said, then it's all right. So with attention, you immediately understand a person, what's the problem with that person is. Sitting down here, you can find out the vibrations of anyone. For example, now we can say, if there's no Russian, that, should I say or not? Brezhnev is possessed. He's a possessed man just now. I'm going to Russia. I hope I'll take out his possessions. He's a possessed man. They are dealing in these parapsychology. Same in America, it's going to happen. It's going to happen everywhere where you try to practice these spiritualists and all that, what we call Preta Vidya, Smashana Vidya and all that, which is absolutely horrible things. Calling them with sophisticated names like parapsychology and calling by what other names they call it? Charismatic movements and all sorts of nothing but spirits. Nothing but spirits. All these people are practicing nothing but spirits. They bring out the dead spirits and call it the Holy Ghost, imagine. This charismatic movement is another horrible thing. I don't know how to tell you about it, but I must say that the whole science has become so subtle that nobody knows that this is the scorpious, horrible satanic force that is working through us and attracting us to these spirits. Some people said, Mother, there are good spirits and bad spirits. But why? Why go to the dead? You don't know which is good, which is bad. How will you know? Why go to the dead? We have to be in the present. We don't have to be in the past. So that's one thing happens when you lose your valencies, that you go to the left. When you go to the right, you may be very austere, you don't eat that food and this and that. You may become a very ego-oriented person. You go to another side called supraconscious, the collective supraconscious. The left side is the collective subconscious and the right side is the collective supraconscious. When I started my work, I decided not to talk about these dead spirits. I said I'll manage without that. That's not possible. For 3 years I never talked about it. I didn't talk about the deities, I didn't talk about anything. For 3 years I managed it. But then among us a lady came who was practicing all these things. And she possessed so many people. And thousands of people used to go to her. She would tell them which horse will come first, where is the money lost, all sorts of things. And thousands of people used to throng, Here we have so few people, but let some tantrika come in, you won't be able to control your traffic. This will be the condition with any one of these horrible people coming in. And this lady really made me talk of these things. And that's what it is, they exist. So going to the left or to the right, you go into a problem because you enter into an unknown area which is very dangerous. Very dangerous. For your information, cancer is caused by left side movement. I have not seen one patient of cancer who has had no such experiences. For example, these fake gurus or this initiation by these horrible people or reading the books of these left-sided things like, what's his name, is Rampa, Sampa and all these so-called Buddhists. Any one of these things can cause cancer. And recently I saw a very good film on this by your television here, English television. They showed where some doctors had made an investigation and they said that they have seen that the cancer is triggered by some proteins which they recognize. They call them as 52, protein 52, 58, that's the name they give. But they recognize that they are coming from the area which is built within us since our creation. So it is the collective subconscious. And they have pictured also that, photographed. So now, though, what I have said about 10 years back, they are saying now, but they are reaching that point. They have to just cross the limit. They have to just get their realization. And because the doctors cannot reach that area themselves, they cannot cure cancer. At the most, they may stop it, they may try to reduce the possibilities and all that, but complete cure they cannot give because they cannot extract people from that area altogether. They can always be drawn into it if that area is made like this. It's very interesting to see how these things are caused within us. This center is one of the most important center because it gives us our seeking, and our pure seeking should be for spirit, for nothing else. But those people who go wrong, all that you see in such people who have bent their forehead before wrong people, they develop a ridge on their head. And there are 11 centers here, which just come out like a ridge. And these are the 11 centers called as Ekadasha Rudras, which are responsible for the destruction, the ultimate destruction, the Kalaki as called as, or what you call the Maitreya, or the coming Christ on the white horse. That ridge once set in, it starts developing more and more, and destruction is made. I must say, from the unconscious, many people get ideas. I have seen people drawing or showing some pictures where they show a very devilish person with a horrible this thing coming out and a squarish thing. I don't know how they get these ideas, but that's a fact. Now, the destructive forces are also on action. They are also working out their forces. We have to be very careful. We are very precariously placed. Formerly, if you had gone too much to the left and right, you would have been not so badly off, and people didn't care also so much. But today, you are so precariously placed, and you are so sensitive and vulnerable that you have to be extremely careful. The rate of destruction is set in very fast, and the rate of construction has to be set in much faster. If you see along, when I see what is constructed, nothing. If you read in the newspaper morning till evening, one good news will come that the princess has delivered a beautiful boy. The rest is horrifying. You ask them to publish something nice. I told them to publish about Sahaja. They are not interested. They are interested if there's a mishap, an accident, some people died, some people killed. They want to put all these photographs, how the people were killed and what wars took place, this and that. They have no time for some good news, some good message, something of hope. They don't want it. That's how you see any organization that is working out today, how they are building up ego-oriented organization. Even charity organizations are nothing but ego-oriented ones. I have myself been with many associations like that and worked with them. I was amazed. These people had no charity in them. Charity is something that should come as compassion, should just flow from it. But it is some sort of a camouflage for earning better position or a better status, and all nonsense going on. A person who is charitable is actually a person who just flows. Who is the other to be charitable? If they are the part and parcel of me, whom am I going to be charitable? If this finger is paining, am I going to be charitable to this finger? I must look after it jolly well, because it's paining me. I have to do rubbing of it, whatever is necessary. I have to do it. And that's what people don't understand. All this kind of our facade will one day fall down, and we'll find out that we have been wasting our energy over something very, very trivial. Actually, the all-pervading power does everything. We do not do anything. Believe me, we do not do anything. How many flowers are turning into fruits just now? Who is doing that job? How many seeds are sprouting at this moment just now? Who is doing all that? How many children are born at this moment? In the human body, no foreign matter can stay. No foreign matter. It tries always to expel it. But when it comes to fetus, Not that the body only keeps it there, but sustains it, nurtures it, looks after it, makes it grow, and when the right times come, it throws out. Who does that? We take everything granted. Take our eyes. If you are a doctor, you can see what an intricate thing has been created as eyes, that we see people through these eyes. Who has done all that? Have we done it? Can we make even one eye? And we see so many different types of eyes. This is the compassion of God. This is the power of God that is all pervading. First time when you get realization, first time you feel that compassion. You feel those vibrations. You feel that all-pervading power. You can now know that all-pervading power is there, and then you can see the maneuvering of it. You can work it out. You can work it out. Use it. You are the instrument, as I say. You are the master. Only you have to assume that power. Warren, I hope, has told you how he came to me. I don't know if he's told you. He just came with a phone call. He had my phone number, and the person who sent him gave a big idea about me, that she's not available, this is that, and all nonsense. I'm the most available person. He just called me, and I said, come along. When he came to my house, he got his realization. And now in Australia, he's transformed so many people. We have ashrams in 7 cities of Australia. England is the most lethargic, I must say. 7 cities of Australia are now there, ready to get it. There are so many people working it out, because once you get the light, you give it to others. So now we move to another center. Above that is the center of the Mother of the Universe. The Father resides in this center, previous center, the Nabhi Chakra, and rises above and then settles down on to the right side. This is the fatherhood. Say, a gentleman yesterday told me that he had trouble with his asthma. I don't know if he's come back or not. Is he here? Yes, good. Now, this gentleman has asthma. Of course, I told him that he had trouble because of too much bathing systems of India. Indians, you see, we bathe too much. Apart from that, it comes from the father's grief. His father had died, and the father himself is not willing to leave him, is worried about him. It can happen to any one of us. If a man is unkind to his son, it's a father principle. If the son is unkind to the father, so the father is hurt. Is the father principle if it is disturbed by any chance, or suddenly father dies and you feel the pinch of that all your life, all that can work out here and you get this right heart catch. With that, you get asthma. It is said that in homeopathy they believe that with more tension you get it. Because when you are more tense, you see, you remember your father. If he was here, he would have helped you. In the subconscious, sometimes it works out. And that's how it adds to the problem. It is so simple to work out that you'll be amazed that if you have to just raise the principle of father in a person like that, who might be a dejected father, who might be a cruel father, who might be a son who has lost the father, can be anything. That you have to just put your hand on that part and just say a mantra, a chanting, which will raise or which will awaken the fatherhood in a full bloom, and you get cured. It's very simple. The center heart is governed by the Mother of the Universe. She gives us the sense of security. When you are at the age of 12 years, you see, the bone that is in front here starts emitting antibodies. It creates antibodies within it till the age of 12 years. And then these antibodies are really the soldiers of the Mother of the Universe. We call her Jagadamba in Sanskrit language. And they spread to the whole of the body, and wherever there is an attack, they inform each other and they fight it out. These antibodies are created in the sternum bone, in the front side of the, we can say, the ribs, where the ribs meet, thoracic region, that part, they stay there, are created till the age of 12 years.